Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, hey, my name is Jessica, and on my channel I mostly talk about fragrances. If you'll be interested in that content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. So like the title of today's video says, I will be doing my own review, or rather my own take on this fragrance from Kayali. And I know it's late because the fragrance came out since last year. I have had it since it came out and I have been wearing it. I formed like solid opinions about it. So if you guys would be interested in seeing what I think about this fragrance, keep on watching. So the name of the fragrance, as you guys know, it's the Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli 64. This is what the bottle looks like. Let me put it up close. It's a pretty bottle. And then it has the notes at the back. Ignore my nail. It has the notes at the back. This bottle, it's like a golden bottle. But I guess I would say it's more golden like foil, because I feel like it can scratch. It's like those type of surfaces that can scratch. I'm not sure. I don't know if that part is important or not. So when it comes to the bottle, do I prefer this one to the clear bottles? I honestly prefer the clear bottles. This bottle is okay. I don't think I love the bottle, but it's nice. And the cap, I would have preferred if they kept like the same clear caps, because I like to keep my Kayalis together and I like to see when everything matches. So this one just kind of stands out, but then I guess that's also hinting at the type of fragrance that it is. It is a fragrance that makes you stand out, but we will get to that. So anyhow, I got the 50 ml. I forgot the price of it. I will put it up here for you guys to see how much I got it. And I think the only reason why I got the 50 ml was because I think the 100 ml wasn't available, because I think I ordered this from Sephora. So it's either the 100 ml was sold out or something. I don't remember why I got the 50 ml, because you guys know I don't like getting 50 mls. I prefer the bigger bottles. But anyhow, bottle-wise, I think I would rate the bottle a 6 out of a 10, because I do like the clear bottles. I don't like the golden cap. I would have preferred if it was like the clear cap and maybe some type of tint to the bottle. But anyhow, that's that on that. The next thing I will talk about is the actual juice itself. So this fragrance, I'll give you my take and then I'll tell you what the notes are. So my take on this fragrance is that it is strong when you first spray it. So I haven't heard a lot of people say this. Some people say, oh yeah, the patchouli is too heavy for them. This is too dark, or it's not for everybody. I get that, but my very first impression of this fragrance, like the best way to describe that opening, is that it's very balsamic. It has this balsamic, sharp, like almost vinaigrette, don't know if that's a word, but almost vinaigrette feeling at the top. And that lasts usually for the first couple minutes when you initially spray it. Now, I don't know what that note is that gives it that scent. I don't know if it's the patchouli. I'm not sure what exactly, or it's the rum. I'm not sure what exactly is in it, because it is boozy, but I don't really get the booze. What I get in the opening that's very prominent, I don't know what that note is, but it's the vinaigrette, that balsamic vinaigrette feel. That's what I get. But like I said, that only lasts a couple minutes, because after a couple minutes, then I feel like that's when you start to get the darker notes, like that patchouli. I feel like that's when it starts to shine through. Before it eventually goes down into like a softer, more vanilla forward scent. Like the opening of this is not very vanilla forward. The opening of this is like dark. And like I said, it's sharp. It's balsamic. If you do not like that in fragrances, I'm not going to say you're not going to like this fragrance, because that doesn't stay all through. That just stays in the opening, like just for a couple minutes. This fragrance actually reminds me of this other fragrance that I have, Killer Oud from Midnight Ecstasy. I haven't talked about this one before, or maybe I have, I don't remember. This one I do not like on me. It's boozy, it's very balsamic, it's very heavy on like whatever is in here is in here. However, I like this one. And I think I like it because the opening, that balsamic sharpness, whatever it is that's in there, it doesn't stay long. It only stays for a couple minutes. This is a fragrance where when I'm spraying it, like I have to pause, because if I do too much, it'll choke me out. So it's like I just have to like spray a couple, wait, let that die down, and then spray it some more so that I have more perfume on and everything. But like the initial opening, it's not my favorite thing about the perfume, but it's nice. It's not that bad. It's not like this one. This one, I'm not even going to spray on me. This one, I like to spray like in the air. I like how it smells in the air, not on my skin. This one, I love how it smells on my skin. Like I said, even when I spray it, even that balsamic vinaigrette thing, no, the rum, whatever that I'm talking about in the opening, even though I say I don't like it, it still smells good. It's just a lot. Like it's very intense, but then it comes down. It comes down really, really fast. This is actually my fragrance that I have on today. It smells really good. The best way I can say, I'm not gonna say this one is necessarily, you see, that you smell that because you do get like the creme brulee and like the sweetness of the fragrance in the opening as well, but it's just like vinegar, like, and I'm not talking about like uh apple cider vinegar or like all this. I'm talking about like vinegar, the type you use for like the salads, like the sweet ones. That's what I feel like I get in the opening of this. It's nice. It's a lot. Oh, you know what? There's this Claude Marcel one that I talked about that I said was balsamic. It's a balsamic but gourmand fragrance. It reminds me of that one as well. But they go in different directions. It's just the opening. And I'm starting to learn I don't like balsamic fragrances. Like that one, I like that one and I keep it and I wear it because just like this one, it doesn't stay. When you put that, when you first of all spray it, you get that balsamic vinaigrette feel, but then after a while it dies down. But this one dies down a lot quicker. You start to get that vanilla more. So maybe like after the first 5 minutes or so, you start to get like the other notes. Like that vinegar goes away, that balsamic note goes away. It starts to calm down, and then I feel like that's when the actual fragrance really, really shines. So the notes at the back say it has vanilla, vanilla sour absolute, golden rum, creme brulee, brown sugar, royal oud, sugared patchouli. I don't think those are the only notes. I think those are the main notes. And I can tell you that the one thing I think I do get the vanilla, I get that rum, I do get the creme brulee, like that burnt sugary smell. You get that. It's in there. The oud, I'm not going to say I get the oud. Maybe the oud is part of that dark. The oud, I mean, I don't, as a girl who has a lot of oud perfumes, I don't necessarily pick out the oud that I get in those perfumes in this one. I feel like the oud in this is actually still kind of light. It's not heavy. You do get the patchouli. After that balsamic note, the first thing you will get is going to be the patchouli, but it's mixed with like the vanilla in the way where it's like almost chocolatey, but it's not. Like, it's almost chocolate. It's like some type of boozy chocolate. That's what you get. Like some type of boozy chocolate. It's nice, but I can agree. I think I can agree with other people when they say this fragrance is not for everybody because the opening sounds a bit complicated, but it's actually really not. This is a fragrance where I feel like it starts off complicated, but then it dries down into like the most simple but beautiful vanilla scent because it does go to like a calm, soft, like it starts out strong, but then it calms down. And when it calms down, it's actually quite soft. Like, I forget that I'm wearing this, but I can still smell it. Longevity, I will say this lasts all day. I put this on this morning before I went to church, and this is around 5 o'clock in the evening, and I still smell myself. Granted, I just sprayed it on my hand right now, but still, like, even on my clothes, like you would smell this on your clothes for days. You would smell this on your skin. You'll still smell this on your skin. I'm giving it probably about like 7-8 hours. Even all the other times that I've worn it, it does smell good. You will get compliments from this one. I think it projects really well within the first hour. I would say the first hour, if depending on how much you spray on, this does project. People will smell you. But after a while, I do think this becomes a, would I say skin scent? Because if they don't come close to you, they're not necessarily going to smell it. And you yourself, you're not necessarily going to, it's not one of those fragrances that just stay in your nose all day. Because I have some fragrances, I'm I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, that when you spray them on, fragrances like Black Phantom, for example. Black Phantom is a fragrance that starts out really strong, and to me, it does dry down to skin set. However, throughout the wear of that fragrance, it's gonna be in your nose. Other people might not smell it, but you'll smell it, especially if you spray it like anywhere here, you'll keep smelling it. This one, I feel like I don't smell it. Like, it's there. Somebody else will say something like, oh, you smell nice. And I'll be like, oh, okay, thank you. Then I'll be like, can I smell myself? And then yes, I would be able to smell myself. However, I don't remember that I'm wearing it. So the dry down isn't necessarily that memorable. However, it smells really good. Will I tell you to run out and buy this fragrance? Yeah. If you like vanilla fragrances, I will say get this. If you don't mind balsamic fragrances, I will say this one is one that you would probably really enjoy. I am glad I got the 50 ml because when I was thinking of the intense, because this is the intense version of Vanilla 28, which I really, really love from Kayali. So when I thought about the intense version of Vanilla, this isn't necessarily what came to my mind. However, this is good. I feel like this one is, if they had said that this was like its own fragrance, like a different fragrance, I would believe them and I would be like, oh, this is a different fragrance. It kind of reminds you of Vanilla 28 in the dry down. You can pick out like, you know, like similarities. But other than that, I feel like this is a fragrance that's different on its own. I feel like there are some people who will like Vanilla 28 and will not like this. And there are some people who will like this and not like Vanilla 28. So overall, I will give the scent itself I think I'll give this one a 9. Honestly, I will give this one a 9 because you guys know me. I like dark, deep fragrances. This is one that really shines in the wintertime. I don't see myself pulling this one a lot when it's like warm outside. I feel like this one is great for when it's really cold because of how thick that opening is. I don't necessarily pair this with a lot of fragrances. The fragrance that I have paired this with, and it just gave it like this added sweetness, is one that I love and I've talked about before, guys, is the Escapade Gourmand from Mason Mataha, and I am obsessed with this one. I love to wear this one by itself. Honestly, like, this one is simply amazing. However, these two together, I feel like they smell amazing because this one does smell like creme brulee, and because that note is in this fragrance, I feel like it gives it added sweetness, like intense sugar. But the darker notes in this one grounds the perfume in the sense that it doesn't necessarily smell like overly sweet or nauseating. Instead, it gives you something similar to, doesn't smell like it, but it gives you something similar to Sweetie Oud. If you guys have smelled Sweetie Oud, so you know how that fragrance is really sweet, but it's not nauseatingly sweet. It's very deep. It's very like earthy, but at the same time sweet. I was about to say fresh. No, not fresh. It's deep. It's earthy. Like, all the woody notes are in there. You get a little bit of what's the word? That's something I'm trying to, there's a word I'm thinking of, but it's not coming out. Anyhow, these two together smell absolutely amazing. And if you have it, I would say to try it and let me know what you guys think. Oh, before I forget, let me tell you what the notes are in this fragrance. So the main accords for this fragrance say it's sweet, vanilla, warm spicy, patchouli, woody, rum, oud, leather. I don't get any leather. Leather, amber, and it's balsamic. Those are the accords. And then the actual notes, according to Fragrantica, says top notes of rum, vanilla orchid, and jasmine. The middle notes say vanilla, spicy notes, creme brulee, leather, tonka bean, and rose. And the base notes say patchouli, brown sugar, arglewood, sugar, amber, and musk. So I guess the word I would say is that this gets, I'm not going to say it's musky. It's not a musky fragrance to me. It's just really soft. Because to me, when I think of musky fragrances, I think of like fragrances that are like a bit powdery, like all the Narciso Rodriguez, like, you know, those type of fragrances that are like heavy on the powder, and like even though they're soft, they're just like, it's like powder and sweat mixed together, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. I don't know how to explain that, but anyhow, I don't get that with this. This does dry down, like I said, to be really soft, but it doesn't necessarily give me like powder. Maybe powdered sugar. but not like powder powder, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm explaining this properly. But like I said, this one gets an overall 9 out of a 10 for me. I do like it. If you want to have this, I will say you can get like a small sample or a 50 ml. It truly is not a fragrance for everybody, especially because of that opening. To me, the opening is very balsamic, and I feel like, especially if you're not a person who's like into fragrances, let's say you're that person who just wants like one signature scent, or you only have like a few bottles of perfume, like 4 or 5, you're not necessarily gonna, and you want to add a perfume that you can wear like every day. Like this one, to me, I'm not gonna say this is necessarily versatile. It could be versatile, but I don't think it is. I save this for when I'm dressed up, like if I'm going to church or if I'm going out at night. But I wouldn't wear this to the office like every day. Like, you see what I mean? Like, to me, it's not an everyday perfume. It's like a once in a week type of perfume, or at nighttime. Like, you know, that, I don't know if I'm explaining that properly, but like that's when I would wear this perfume. Like if you were going on a date, I would say you can wear this. I would pair this with something else to, like, you know, like that Escapade Gourmand, you know, to like give it some type of sweetness, or like the cherry fragrances. I would mix this with it. Probably Love Fest. I feel like Love Fest might actually go well with this because that one's also woody and like, you know, cherry. But other than that, I would not wear this like on a daily, like, oh, the way I would wear Vanilla 28 every day. I wouldn't do that. But anyhow, it is a great fragrance. Am I happy I have it in my collection? Yes. If it finishes, am I running out to buy another bottle? I don't necessarily see myself running out to buy another bottle. But I am happy that I have this one, and I will probably use it, which I have been doing. I think I already have. It's already like up to here. That brings us to the end of the video. So let me know if you guys have tried Vanilla Royale. Let me know what you think about it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know down in the comment section. Don't forget to please like and subscribe. It's free. And yeah, that brings us to the end. I will talk to you guys in my next video.